Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to the Minute channel. And today we are gonna be doing a just overall package of Persona 5 Royal, what they're adding, what's going on new, everything that is going on into Persona 5 Royal. So this is kind of like my small summary of the game and answering the question, is Persona 5 Royal going to be worth it? Now, needless to say, we haven't played the game yet. I haven't played it yet, but I'm definitely very excited about it, and I've been doing pretty much weekly news every single week as I see Persona 5 unfold with new content, new things that they're gonna add, new things that everything. So this is gonna be like a summary of all the things that we found so far, things that they're gonna be adding and doing and subtracting and everything like that. So this is a pretty exciting video for me and pretty much everything else, and I'm gonna answer the question, is this game gonna be worth it overall after all these changes they're gonna be doing, and kind of sort of just see what I think about the game so far as everything we know. The game is coming out in Japan fairly soon, so it's a pretty exciting thing for a lot of people. I am still gonna buy the English release, but I am buying the Japanese release and I want to stream it to you guys. So if you're interested in that, please let me know in the comments below. But let's go ahead and get started with this. And what is Persona 5 Royal? Let's just start from there. So Persona 5 Royal is basically a remake or remastered version of the original Persona 5 vanilla game, and this is not the first time that Atlus has been doing this. They have been doing it for pretty much every single game so far. Persona 1 had one, Persona 2 had another one, an enhancement, Persona 3, 4, pretty much every single Persona game has had some kind of remake, remaster edition of the game with additional things, multiple things that affected gameplay sometimes, adding new characters and so on. So Atlus and Persona definitely not strangers to these kind of things. They've done all of these games. They have done it so far. So what makes Persona 5 Royal unique and different through Persona 5? So Persona 5 was a pretty good game, and at the time I thought there are very few things that I would think that this needs. And it looks like Atlus looks into that, and they definitely delivered and sometimes even over delivered on the package of what they're adding. One of the biggest changes is they are actually changing the story. We've seen new bits of storytelling in all the trailers that we saw so far. As far as how deep they're gonna be changing the story, we actually don't know. They're adding two different characters. One is gonna be a new party member in the school that you go to, Kasumi. She's interesting character, more of a quirky type of character. She is gonna have impact in the story that we've seen so far, so definitely she's gonna be one of those catalysts in the story that is gonna be game changing in a sense, I believe. The other character that we're gonna be having, Akuto, he is a new counselor at the school. There's a certain incident that happens in the school, therefore students need counseling or somebody there to be for them. So this new character is gonna be a new confidant. Confidant is basically a character that you meet and you can make a bond with, previously called social links, and these links basically allow for more things to happen, and they give you additional skills that are very important in gameplay wise once you go to the dungeons and pretty much the rest of the story and everything. But speaking of dungeons, it looks like we are gonna be having a new dungeon. This new dungeon, we don't have a lot of specifics, but we know they're adding new shadows and new stuff to it, so definitely gonna be more interesting, and very exciting to see what is in the new dungeon and everything. All of that's still on the wraps and everything, but we've seen pictures of the dungeon. We've seen that there's gonna be new items and everything like that, so it's definitely pretty cool to see that happening there. But while we are talking about dungeons, we're also going to be talking about Mementos. So Mementos is another dungeon that you're able to visit pretty much through the entirety of the game. It's very important to the plot, and it's being changed. There's a new character that is adding named Jose. Jose basically is going to be a being that lives in Mementos, and he kind of travels through it and gives you items, and you trade with him, and he's gonna have an interesting role in Mementos. He's a brand new character that they're adding in that spot as well, and definitely gonna affect a story in some kind of way, because Mementos is part of the main line story. So I'm very excited to see what kind of changes this is gonna bring. I think that it's gonna be unique in a sense, because this is something that we didn't see the first time around. around. So very excited to see what that's gonna change like. But definitely Mementos is a big clue as far as the bigger story, seeing that it's gonna be changed with new items to find, new things to do in Mementos, missions with Jose. All of this stuff is definitely gonna have an impact on the larger scale, I believe. Moving into some of the other changes, they are gonna add new story type of situations within the larger story. For example, we know that there is a new character, as I mentioned earlier, and this new character is we're gonna meet Kasumi in a school situation that they're gonna be all going under. We see them doing kind of like a cleanup or something like that. We don't know the exact details about it, but we know there's gonna be a lot of new pieces like that throughout the story. So it's very exciting to see all of these bits and pieces of what's going on and everything like that. There are new, there's a new city that you can visit in Tokyo. This new city is obviously gonna add new aspects to it and everything like that. Most of all, because we're having all these new places, new characters, new story bits, new dungeons. All of this is going to require new music, and we're going to have a lot of new music. We have actually already heard a couple of the different songs like the one that you're hearing right now, as well as all this new content and everything. So it's definitely very exciting to see this happening as well. Now, that being said, because they're adding no music and new stuff, obviously it's one of the other things they need to change or improve onto is the gameplay. And of course, they are definitely doing that a lot. Not only are they improving a little bit more on some of the previous characters, like as I mentioned earlier, the social links. So there are some social links are getting fixed and adding more depth to them. And some characters actually gonna have a social link, like Gora Keshiku, who didn't have a bigger role as far as his confident level. Now you're able to interact more with him, you're able to develop his character as you want to. It's very exciting, but obviously the other side of the gameplay is the dungeon crawling, and the dungeon crawling is getting changes too. You're gonna be able to use this hook in order to go into different hidden locations. You're gonna be able to sneak onto characters differently because of the new social links they're going to be doing and everything. So there's all these changes that are going to be going onto the gameplay, as well as I mentioned earlier, new personas and new shadow types they're going to be fighting. So overall, going through all these different news and all these different updates, I believe that Persona 5 is worth it. Persona 5 Royal, there's a lot of new content here. We've been told based on some screenshots that we have that this is gonna have over 10 gigabytes of new stuff based on the screenshots that we have so far. The original gameplay needed about 20 gigabytes of installation. This one is 30, so over 50% more is definitely a lot of gameplay. It's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be doing too, and I'm super excited for this. I definitely do think that this game is going to be a big deal. It is going to improve Persona in a pretty good, positive way, I believe. I'm pretty positive about the game. Everything that I heard about it is stuff that I'm going to enjoy, and things that I'm definitely excited. Things like My Palace, which I haven't talked about yet. My Palace is the new way that they're going to be doing you're able to create your own dungeon. People can visit it online. You're able to add new pieces and everything as you unlock more of the story and everything like that. That is very exciting. You're also going to be able to do more different missions in the Velvet Room, which you're able to visit. You have these new missions that you can do. Persona characters from Persona 4 and 3 are going to be in the game, so you're going to be able to interact with them and fight them. So all this stuff is super exciting. There's so much content that I want to talk about, so many things that I want to say about, but overall I do think that this is a fantastic experience, and they have added so much content in here that it's almost too much. Whenever you hear about a lot of this stuff, we're like, wow, I didn't even think that this was something. My Palace, for example, is something I didn't think they were gonna do. The thing about bringing Persona 3 and Persona 4 characters as hidden bosses to fight is something that I didn't think that could be something like they could do. It's definitely super exciting. It's definitely things that I'm looking for. There are new costumes, there are new music that you can add in the game. There's all this different stuff that they are doing. There is just definitely more of the good stuff. I believe that this game is definitely gonna be a success for Atlas, and the amount of work that they've done here, it's commendable. I think it's enough for people to say, well, yeah, this is not just a big DLC. This is definitely a lot of big content here. Anyway, that is pretty much it for today, guys, in this video here. Do you tell me, do you think Persona 5 Royal is gonna be worth it with all this content that is getting added? Do you think this is not enough? Did you want something that they haven't talked about yet? Let me know in the comments below. As always, if you're new, please consider liking and subscribing. But that's it for today. I'll see you next time.